Keep sitting. This is very crucial news. Officials made headlines earlier this week when they announced plans to sell $130 million worth of Bitcoin. This statement could cause more market volatility, on top of the fact that we have only just begun to recover from the latest market catastrophe. Surprisingly, the recent events have had the most impact on Shiba Inu, more so than any other cryptocurrency. Inquisitive, are you? Pay close attention as I explain everything in detail for you. Court-approved action related to the Silk Road case is necessary for the sale of the $130 million worth of cryptocurrencies that the government has seized. A Maryland court authorized the seizure of cryptocurrency linked to Silk Road investigations in August of last year. Because of this, the interpretation of the December 2017 verdict is the impending sale of the confiscated Bitcoin. However, how did the US government first get its hands on cryptocurrency? The US government can obtain Bitcoin in stages, the first of which is to formally investigate illicit activities. Investigators follow the digital traces left by Bitcoin transactions associated with questionable companies. A court's approval is required prior to the seizure of any assets, including Bitcoin. The found Bitcoin will be confiscated by the police once the court gives its okay. Digital wallets could be frozen, private keys could be taken possession of, or some other way might be used to do this. Court orders validate the seizure of the defendant's assets and subsequent legal actions are initiated. The confiscation of property is preceded or simultaneously with criminal actions for anyone who engages in unlawful activity. They may face fines or perhaps jail time if proven guilty. The worth of the object that was taken into custody is then determined by using the market value of the cryptocurrency at the moment of seizure. Once seized, the government has discretion over how to dispose of the cryptocurrency. Commercial sale of these items is not out of the question. You can use another technique or put them up for auction to turn them into fiat money. The government notifies the public through public announcements when it intends to sell or dispose of cryptocurrencies. Furthermore, the government gives those who have a rightful claim to the confiscated property a chance to voice their opinion. Then it will be up to the government to sell Bitcoin and deposit the proceeds into its coffers. After that, the approved applications are distributed among several uses, such as paying for victim reparations, law enforcement costs, or other similar causes. Still, let's circle back to the video's central plot point. This is bad news for us because the US government has authorized the sale of $130 million. You should be cognizant of this fact. It is critical to recognize the difficult circumstances we are presently facing by assessing the present status of the Bitcoin sector. It has been challenging to find a resurgence in the market since its recent adoption of the Bitcoin Exchange Traded Fund. Since the US government recently announced that it will be selling Bitcoin worth $130 million, the current fall in cryptocurrency prices might get even worse. Fans and investors are closely monitoring this development because the selling of such a large quantity of Bitcoin could further strain an already unstable market. This might make it much more difficult to reach prior market peaks, which is reason for worry about the effect on pricing and investor sentiment. Due to the intricate nature of the industry, stakeholders are continually keeping an eye on the Bitcoin sector for any signs of change. Several factors, some of which are external, such the sale of government assets, have a significant impact. The announcement that the US government intends to sell $150 million of cryptocurrencies is bad news for the industry as a whole, but it will certainly have the greatest detrimental effects on Shiba Inu. Expenses associated with owning a Shiba Inu might be likened to an exciting and unexpected roller coaster ride. This ride went a little bit bonkers not long ago. When the value of Shiba Inu increased and their price dropped to $0, the joy was immediate and immense. The crowd was ready for an incredible adventure since they were expecting big profits, but for many the roller coaster almost came to a halt, which was a major downside. The sensation is similar to buckling up for an exciting ride and then out of the blue plummeting to the ground on a roller coaster in spite of all that was annoying and frustrating, there was a ray of optimism. With gentle strides, Shiba Inu began to ascend. It appeared like the roller coaster was about to turn around and head in the other way. Rekindling the faith and enthusiasm of the Shiba Inu community brought a feeling of relief. The journey had veered back to its original course, and now all were prepared for the many twists and turns that were ahead. Upon hearing that the US government was planning to sell a staggering 130 million US worth of cryptocurrencies, the Shiba Inu community let out a collective groan. These arrived at a time when optimism was starting to blossom. Imagine this, you're on a roller coaster, enjoying every second of it, when suddenly, hold on. We're adding more unexpected loops. It was this announcement that set off a new wave of discontent. In the blink of an eye, the town could return to its peaceful state, only to face the unknown once more. The sensation is similar to being on a roller coaster without knowing if the trip would be filled with continuous smoothness or a succession of abrupt dips. It is in the canine nature and the Shiba Inu's personality in particular to generate excitement and annoyance in that sequence. The objective is to make the travel smoother and less filled with surprises. Members of the community are getting ready for the next wild ride in this ongoing adventure. Furthermore, you should be cognizant of this critical matter. The US government is currently selling $130 million worth of Bitcoin and other crypto. Although it may seem that selling just one asset wouldn't make much of a difference, that doesn't imply it wouldn't affect the cryptocurrency market overall. Because of how interdependent the Bitcoin market is, a different reading is implied. Think of the cryptocurrency market as a tightly knit fabric. Even if you're only pulling on one thread, the strain might be felt all the way through the cloth. When it comes to the types of market shifts we're talking about, Shiba Inus are especially vulnerable. When major events like a large sell-off occur, they can impact the market overall, and cryptocurrency values often move in tandem with one another. No matter whatever coin is being talked about there, the announcement of a large sell-off might spark a chain reaction among investors, since they often respond to market emotion. Shiba Inu's value could rise or fall depending on how the market reacts to news about pooches, because it is part of the bigger cryptocurrency ecosystem. Quite similar to a tiny boat adrift amid the vastness of the ocean, massive occurrences can produce waves of considerable size, even when the source of the wave seems to be in a separate part of the ocean. So it's safe to say that Shiba Inu will feel the pinch from the upcoming sale, just like everyone else. While the fact that the entire $130 million is made up of Bitcoin is well knowledge, investors in different cryptocurrencies often respond collectively to market events because to their interconnection. Because this happens often, the market as a whole may be more susceptible to these kinds of announcements. Everything is still in its infancy at this point. Upon closer inspection, it becomes apparent that the US government is starting to liquidate the funds acquired from the Silk Road case. This monetary transaction was massive, costing an astounding $5.08 billion yen, $1,000 being the total value of Bitcoin stolen. There seems to be only the start of the previously announced